In this episode of the Paranormal Chronicles, we're going to delve into the controversial topic of demon spirit versus human spirit. So, Chad, what are your thoughts on the inhuman or demon spirits versus human spirits? Are there such a thing?
I mean, I definitely think that there's spirits out there. Now, whether or not you want to categorize them into demons versus human spirits, that is a very, I think, like a personal stance or viewpoint. Obviously, there are spirits out there. Whether or not they're demonic spirits, I don't know.
Or they're just angry because they're dead.
That's a fair point. Because how can you tell if they're demonic or not? Because they don't typically come out and say, I'm a demon or I'm the devil. Even stories from priests that are doing exorcisms, the spirits don't come out and say, I'm a demon or my name is
Zozo.
Yeah, the demon from hell. So, I mean, I don't know how you can tell that a possessed person is a demon or not. So, are there demons out there? I think that there probably could be and there probably are, but have they possessed people? I'm sure that they have over time, over the thousands of years that humans have existed. Probably at some point they have, but I don't know. I think it's one of those touchy subjects that I don't...
Oh, sorry, that was a little drawn out. I'm just joking.
I don't know if you can really give a definitive answer on that. What are your thoughts?
I mean, like, every time someone actually hears something growl, because I've heard things growl. I've captured growling. If you are on my TikTok, I've actually posted the growl that sounded like from a Scooby-Doo episode on that TikTok from Stone Mansion. Yes, Stone Mansion, my favorite place. That will always have a special place in my heart. But the thing is, like, are these human spirits scratching people, or are these demonic evil entities that are doing harm to the people? Because I've known some investigators that actually has been scratched by entities or unknown beings, I guess you want to call them. And do we want to categorize them as demonic, or are they just angry spirits that just want to be left alone? I'm not sure.
So at the same time, when you say that they're growling, could it also just be a dead dog that's growling?
Or my stomach growling because it's like 3 p.m. It's dinner time.
Exactly. So I mean, I'm not dismissing that you're hearing a possible demon on your recording.
Right.
But I'm just saying, is it a possible another explanation? Like, could it be a dead dog that you're hearing growling on your recorder? Can you say it's not for sure? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, actually, we can't know for sure that it's not a dead dog.
How, though?
I mean, like, being in that location, we go through that location pretty thoroughly. And I know for sure dogs are not that small. Even the smallest dog, you can actually determine whether or not they're dead or not, and they're the cause of the sound kind of thing. As we said in the previous video, that we make sure we mark every sound that we make or we hear audibly to kind of mark to say, hey, this is not a spirit. And if we've came across a dead dog, and we will know if it's a dead dog, that it's not the dead dog who is growling. And I feel like dead dogs growl differently than what we hear on our EVPs and stuff. If you, like I said, if you go over to our TikTok and you hear that growl, it's definitely not a dog that's growling like that, for sure. But everyone, as soon as they hear the growl, and they assume it's a demon, or if someone gets scratched, it's a demon. But are the demons truly hurting us, or are they or the human spirits hurting us. And then personally, I think people just jump to the conclusions that it's automatically demons because of that. Because I think also the religious upbringing of, let's say, the Bible, the Quran, and like the Torah, whatnot, they believe in like the inhuman spirits that walk amongst us, trying to like sway us to do bad. So are we really listening to them? I mean, like me being like not so religious, kind of like, is there a human aspect to, or human answers to that?
Plus, there's just the wow factor. You know, there's so much more wow when you say that there's a demon scratching me as opposed to there's my great aunt Nina scratched me. You know,
Because, you know, those Aunt Ninas, they don't, you know, cut their nails very short either, you know. We all know that.
That's right.
Or as being paramedics transporting the old ladies, their nails are dang long and they are dang strong too, even at the livings.
Like that grandma strength they used to have. Remember that?
Oh my goodness, yes. I had a patient who I had to transport. Oh my God, I had to restrain her because she was very strong and aggressive. And she dug those long talons into me. And I got looks at the ER because I restrained a 90-year-old patient. And soon after they unrestrained her, they realized, well, I had restraints on her. But yeah, so is that dead grandma, like, you know, still having that strength to be able to scratch that investigator or whatnot? But actually, most of the investigator eventually actually stopped seeking out the scariest answers because of the fact that we need to kind of pull back and kind of figure out, like, where is all this coming from? Like, who are these spirits? Possibly spirits. Do we really know who these spirits are? Chad, do we actually know who these spirits that we are talking to are?
I mean, not for sure. You can do your research and you have a good idea of who they are, but you never know for 100% sure who they are because they could change over the years.
Yeah.
Spirits could come and go. Your research could say that so-and-so died there, so you have a high likelihood that person is still haunting that place. But whether or not they're actually still there, or whether they passed on to the other side, you don't know for sure if that's that spirit or not.
I mean, that actually is a controversial topic in itself, I believe, because, again, it depends on your upbringing, right? So I believe, even though I'm not very religious anymore, like, but I was brought up or raised in the Muslim faith, and we believe that, like, are we truly talking to the homeowner or the person who passed away, or is it the demon or the inhuman spirit trying to pretend that they are so that they can have that access to the dimension, giving that permission to cross over kind of thing? And that's why I also think about the Ouija boards, because, like, I am a true believer, yes, we are able to open a portal through that doesn't seem to close. But as an investigator, are we doing the same thing? You know?
I think so, to a point anyway. Now, whether or not it's like fully open or a full portal.
Porter.
You
Porter,
know.
they're not coming to grab our bags.
I'm having trouble speaking like you were yesterday. So, whether or not it's a full portal, I don't know. I don't think anybody really knows for sure, but I think that you need some kind of extra terrestrial, I guess you can say, help to open a full portal, such as a Ouija board. But I mean, when we're just kind of poking the bear, so to speak, when you're in a location, investigating it and asking questions and kind of poking those spirits to come out there and play with us.
Sorry, I'm just joining today.
So to speak, I think that kind of stirs things up and happens bring a few more things over to the other side than what's normally there, in my opinion. What do you think, though?
I feel like the TV shows that, I'm not going to name names, that everything is a demonic possession, that they are possessed by the demon, and I'm not going to say the ZB name, But are we truly like getting haunted or getting possessed by like a demon? And apparently, I was possessed in a few of the investigation. But was I possessed by a demon? I don't know. I mean, I have a lapse of memory, so I'm relying on people who actually observe me. Did you think that I looked like a demon when I was taken over?
So, I mean, the times that I saw you, and even by accounts from the people that were there when I wasn't there, I wouldn't say you were possessed by a demon. You were just possessed by something else because, like, your personality changed, your affect changed.
What is an affect for those who don't know?
Just how you generally are, like your...
The emotions that you see on your faces?
Yeah.
The expressions?
Yeah, generally you're pretty go-happy-go-lucky kind of person. And when she's possessed, she just kind of has like this flat, boring, I'm here but not really here kind of look on her face. But when she is possessed or when she has been possessed, she's not really an angry kind of person. She's not like, I'm going to kill you kind of look on her face.
No,
it's just kind of a, I'm a different person and I want to talk to you, or I'm curious about who you are and why you're here. Kind of possession, I guess you could say. So I don't think it was a demon in my opinion, and I think if you asked the other investigators that were with you, I think they would say the same thing. I think it was just a curious spirit or ghost that happened to be able to possess you.
But unable to communicate because they don't know how to control a human body.
Right.
But you would think if it's a human being that used to be a human being, they would know how to control that body, though.
Well, maybe they're still learning.
I guess so. But I mean, like, I feel like a lot of people who watch these paranormal shows, they always think that everything is demon or demon possession after one knock on the wall. Like, we've had knocks on the wall all day long here at the house, but I don't think that it's a demon. I believe it's a spirit that's just trying to like make its presence known, you know.
They play tricks on us because it often takes things like her keys and stuff and hides them on us, and then we'll find them a day or two later.
Our wedding rings, after years of trying to find it. Like, I don't know if we've already mentioned this. Like, we both wear, so the experience that we had here and with our Trickster spirit or whatnot was, okay, so quite a few years ago, I want to say 3-4 years ago, we put our rings, and we don't wear rings to bed or jewelry to bed, so we put our rings in a separate place, like where I can find it, where he can find it, so, and it was a totally different, like, dresser, side table, whatnot. And after years, and I've gone through to many different investigations, gone through all my equipment right before investigations,
and after,
to make sure I have all my equipment. Sometimes I forget and lose the equipment, and we're not going to be talking about that. So, because I don't want to get in trouble by this guy. Anyway, so couple of investigations ago, I looked through my bags like I normally do by getting ready for this place. And I opened a box, and I've opened this box so many times. And I see rings in there. I'm thinking, like, what the heck? And sure enough, it was our wedding rings, both wedding rings. Who would have thought to put it? So it's only me, my husband, and our daughter who lives here, and then obviously our animals. I don't believe our animals picked up our rings and then decided to put it in, open this box because the box was completely closed.
They don't have opposable thumbs anyway, so.
Well, you know. Hey, maybe Gryffindor is a skinwalker.
Oh, don't start that.
He just turns at night and just hides things, but that's neither here nor there. But that would be an interesting
That's another podcast.
Skinwalkers. Did you just do that? Okay, that scared me. Our rocker just started rocking, and my ADHD brain just kind of like, oh, there's something moving. But yeah, so we just happened to find our rings after 4 years of being lost in a random box in my investigation bag. So that was actually pretty interesting. Do I think it's a demon? I don't think so.
No. It's probably a trickster spirit just trying to make us crazy. Think that we lose things all the time.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Because it happens a lot. We always lose something, whether it's a TV remote, car keys.
Our slippers, shoes, random shoes kind of thing. So
most things we find within an hour or a day, but
those rings were
the rings we lost for the longest.
Yeah. I mean, that's okay. That I don't need to know and tell people that I'm married anyway.
Yeah,
so
we both know that we're married.
Exactly. We have that paper.
if anybody asks, we'll tell them, but the rings don't really mean anything, I guess.
What?
You don't tell anybody that you're married? It's okay. It's okay. You can go off on your own.
Stop.
Not a big deal.
But I feel like as an empath, like I kind of knew, not know for sure 100% obviously, that there are different energies between those two types of spirits. Inhuman, and I'm trying to say inhuman versus demon because I feel like there are two different categories. Inhuman, they used to not be human at all, but they're on this earth. Because jinns are inhuman. They have never been human, and they are an entity that has been mentioned in the Quran, quite a few, that they are there to sway people to the dark side, and though they are good jinns.
So, Aalia, I think that would be a good podcast to have one day, is the differences between, like, what Christianity believes, what Judaism believes, and what Muslims believe, what all the different major religions believe about not extraterrestrials, but the afterlife. Mm-hmm. So explain to people real quick what jinns are. They're kind of like ghosts, but they're a little bit different. Explain what the similarities and differences are to people. Because a lot of our viewers probably don't have any ideas what jinns are.
Jinns are there to, if you believe in genies that grant you wishes and stuff like that, that is a form of a jinn. The jinns usually stay and love dark, abandoned places that we frequent. So that's why my upbringing as a Muslim kind of plays into who are we actually talking to? Are we actually talking to human spirits, or are we talking about the jinns that reside there? Because these places are abandoned for so long, and they are dark because they don't have power. And believe me, they don't have power, especially in the winter. And that's why
it's cold.
I mean, it's freezing, and that's why I do not investigate in the cold in the winter unless it's a house that actually has heat. So, anyways, Now you're bored? What the heck?
You were bored earlier.
That's kind of true. That's why we work together.
That's right.
But yeah, so the jinns are people or inhuman entities that live in the dark. They are usually bad, and they try to sway you to do bad things, kind of thing. And they are not good and can do harm to you.
So they're not really ghosts, though. They're just like
They're
entities.
They're entities. They're spirits. It's really hard to explain what they are. They are not corporeal, like you can actually see them as humans, or solid.
Would you kind of describe them as like demons in the Islam world?
Yes,
like
they're inhuman.
They sit on your shoulder, like the little devil and angel on one shoulder?
No, they don't sit on shoulders. They actually reside mainly in the trees, dark places and stuff. So,
but as like an example for people that were growing up in Christianity, we like I was always raised like you have a devil on one shoulder and an angel on one shoulder. The devil's always whispering in one ear, telling you to do bad things, and the angel's whispering in the other ear, telling you to do good things. So the jinn's always whispering in your ear, trying to tell you to do bad things, is what you're kind of saying.
Not all the time. Only if you encounter that entity.
Okay.
Like, they don't stick with you. They're not, quote unquote, an attachment.
They're not always with you. Just if you happen to see them, then they're telling you to do bad things.
They are evil, and they do bad things, especially to you, or convince you to do bad things. So, and usually they can actually possess you too. So, but they're not attached to you like the whole upbringing that the devil's on your left shoulder and the angels on the right.
Okay.
But that's also another conversation when we go into the different belief systems of the paranormal. And so, but yeah, that's pretty much what jinns are.
But you said that there are good jinns too?
They are good jinns, but they are very, very far and few between. They don't really harm you, but they do reside, and they do have disfigured features that tell you that they are not human. Pakistan or India, they have a lot of jinns and legends of jinns being like visiting places and people. Like my grandfather happened to be hunting peacocks. This is again legend, because the fact that it's coming from my dad. I don't know how my dad's memory is. That
he's still pretty sharp.
On occasion. But he also told us as we were growing up that we are princes and prince of dump, and we believed him. So there's that, and that my grandfather actually encountered a group of jinns, like waiting by the water or pond or whatnot. And that he actually conversed with them. So, and they had like disfigured faces, and that's how he knew they weren't human, kind of thing. So, but anyways, like, let's talk about why this happened, why people assume there are demons or demon encounters, kind of thing. So what do you think?
I mean, I think it just goes back to the wow factor. It's just easier to say something bad happened to me. I can't explain it. It's easier to just say it was a demon rather than a ghost. Because it's quicker and easier to say that. It's more, everybody can relate to that, I guess you can say.
Right.
As opposed to saying, well, I can't explain it, but something scratched me.
But I mean, like, I go back and forth because, like, even a human entity can scratch you or something. But what can we say? I mean, I'm going back to that movie, Others. Like, what if they were trying to get your attention, right? And they just happen to scratch you. They're human. So why are we assuming they're demons?
But it's not the wow factor. Like I said, people want that wow factor. They want that notoriety, I guess you can say. They want people to feel bad for them or to take them seriously, almost. Like they want to be like, oh, yeah, there's a demon haunting you. Like, let's go figure it out. Let's make you feel safe or whatever,
So you're talking about when someone experiences something intensely that they want to categorize it as this evil influence on their life, like the sleep paralysis. And sleep paralysis, guys, is when your body cannot move. You're awake, but your body cannot move. And actually, it's been linked to a medical condition that literally your body is not sending out firing neurons or impulses to your rest of the body, so that you are now freaked out because you're paralyzed. I mean, I would be scared too, kind of thing.
That would be.
So, and then also having nightmares. Like, I've had nightmares before. However, my nightmares are different because I do truly think that evil spirits do come and visit me through my sleep, because they say that when you sleep, that's your vulnerable state of your mind, because your mind starts relaxing.
Right.
So, but what are your thoughts? How about social media? Do you think that plays into the part of the demonic areas?
I do, because social media, you experience this a lot. You want that dopamine hit of people liking your posts, people sharing your posts, people commenting on your posts. And when people don't do that, you almost feel like a failure. You're like, I posted this out there for the world to see, for all my friends and family to see, and nobody's liking it. Like, what the heck? Like, why aren't they following me? Why aren't they liking my posts? Why aren't they agreeing with me? So when you post something like, so you almost want to embellish something, like when it happens to you, whether it's sleep paralysis or getting scratched by a demon or an inhuman spirit, you almost want to embellish it just so that people are like, oh my God, I can't believe that happened to you. So that they're putting that wow face on Facebook or that like button or that they're commenting on it like, I had something similar happen to me, or are you okay? How can I help you?
Or the ever said, get out of your house.
Yeah.
Even though we can't afford to get out of our house, so that we just have to live with the scratches and the growls and stuff like that. And
but people want that because that's creating that dopamine hit in their brains. People are like, people feel bad for me, or people are relating to me. So.
Right, yeah, and then also they always say you need a priest. I mean, so that is also coming into the religious viewpoints or perspective on paranormal. I know for sure I have a friend who actually does exorcisms in Islam. By the way, I didn't even know that even existed until a few years ago when my brother said, hey, his friend does exorcisms in Islam. And I'm like, oh, Islam believes in this? Like, wow, okay. So this is kind of similar to Catholicism, because Catholicism, they go through the exorcisms as well, kind of thing. They also go through the same similar steps to prove that it is a true possession kind
Before
of thing.
they'll even do the exorcism, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's really interesting to see. And like we said, human spirits can be angry too. Like, we're disrupting their whole flow of being. And then here comes, and I'm going to say this, that I think paranormal investigators, they disrupt the human spirits things.
Well, they do. I mean, you got to think about it. Like, you have a bunch of people, whether it's just 2 investigators or a group of 10 going into a spirit's or a ghost's house, and they're interrupting them. They're taking all this equipment that is all of a sudden detecting these spirits that have gone maybe years without ever being detected.
And loud.
That's right.
They're loud.
And all of a sudden they're saying, are you here? What's your name? I know you're here because my equipment is saying that you're here. Make yourself known. And these spirits are like, how are they seeing that I'm here? What the heck do they want? Why are they bothering me? Why are they in my space? Why are they in my house?
And they're asking the same questions over and over again.
And these bigger locations like Randolph House and that you love so much, you have just investigating team after investigating team there every single night bothering these spirits. Now, whether or not these spirits are bothered or not, maybe they like it. I have no idea. But they just don't get a break.
Right. And the thing is, like I said, they get asked the same questions. And I know as a teacher, being asked the same question drives me insane. And then they get mean, Miss Scott, because I had just said the answer.
When does this due?
When is it due, or what are we doing? Even though there is a written, verbal, multiple times verbal, and there is also writing right in front of them, and it's projected on the board, and I still ask, what are we doing? Like, dude, come on.
How many points is this worth?
Oh my, is it graded? Oh my God. I go, I am not, from the get-go, I do not answer that question at all.
Just assume everything's graded and just do the work.
And that's what I should tell the ghosts. Like, assume that this is graded, so you have to conversate with me so I can judge you and guide you, kind of thing. But anyway, so, I mean, human spirits can actually be manipulative too. They can actually, quote unquote, act like demons. Like that growl that everyone assumes is going to be a demon. So how do we determine whether or not it's a human spirit or a thing?
That's a good question for you, because I have no idea.
Because that's actually a pretty cool idea. Maybe like an experiment going into a different investigations. Like, okay, so ask if they can growl. And if I can hear the growl, is it a demon or is it human?
But still, how do you determine whether it's a demon or an inhuman spirit? Just by hearing the growl. Right. Do you ask it for like a name, or to do it again, or for like a human growl or a demon growl? Like, is there a difference between growls, or?
I don't think so. But what do you guys think? Do you guys think?
Let us know down here in the
Yeah,
comments.
like
How can you tell?
Yeah, how can we tell whether it's the human spirit manipulating the thing? Because I know demons can manipulate being human. Mm-hmm. Oftentimes they are being portrayed as children because children bring sympathy,
the
innocence, so that they can be accepted easier and quicker. Mm-hmm. So demons are represented as little kids, like the black-eyed kids. So those are demons. They portray little kids so they can be invited into your house. Mm-hmm. Don't ever answer your door when it's knocking.
I mean, I don't try not to do that in real life, so.
Well, yeah, because, those salespeople
Dude,
are realtors.
They are ruthless, those salespeople, especially the people about the roof. Like, we've just been fixing some people's roofs down the street here. It looks like you have some hail damage. It's like, dude, it hasn't hailed in, like, years in our area. There's no hail damage to my roof. Go away. But they're ruthless. They don't want to go away.
Yeah, well, I mean, persistent makes a sale, though. If you break down the people,
they just want to file an insurance claim and make my insurance rates go up. Is all they want to do. That's all they want to do.
So what I kind of want to touch upon, like the energy that is being felt in a place that might have a human spirit. So there is a slight difference when I go through certain areas of a property. And I know for sure I felt this in this local theater here in Kenosha, that there are different energies in different areas of that place. When I was walking at the top, the theater part and the balcony, and I definitely felt the anxiety of the spirits. There are some residual spirits there for sure because they're trying to get ready for the plays, because we went up to the third floor where the dressing rooms were. And I felt those spirits just kind of doing their thing. So like when we mentioned it before, residual versus intelligent. Residual is just like an imprint. They're doing their thing, but they have such a intense energy that it imprinted onto the dimension, and just they're doing their own thing. You also feel the anxiety, the fear that came with the actors that were acting for the plays at that time, or fear for other aspects of their lives, and they just brought it into the theater. So the sadness as well, you feel the sadness when you are dealing with human spirits, human spirits energy. So, sorry, that was the table and my elbow. Yeah, so I think that's one of the differences. And when we went into the basement, that's where the energy shifted. And I knew right then that was not a human spirit.
Even when we went down there, you're like, this is not a very good spirit down here. This is like an evil one down here. Mm-hmm. And I don't think it was when we were down there. I think it was when we were coming back up is when you changed. Yeah, when we came back up to the first floor is when you had changed.
Because I remember going down there. I go, I don't like it here. Mm-hmm. Like it's really, it's heavy, and like it's an area I didn't want to be, but I wanted to be and explore and see where it was. And there was a room I chose, and they go, this is a room that there's a spirit here that just doesn't like us here.
Yeah, even the people that run the theater, they didn't like that room. They don't ever like to go in there unless they absolutely have to. And
they didn't tell us that until I walked into that room.
It was like a storeroom.
Yeah. They stored like old chairs, like the benches and stuff like that they renovated, and they were just storing. I go, like, there's an entity here that just doesn't want. And I wanted to say there was a Jinn there, and with eyes. The eyes scared the crap out of me. By the way, it was red eyes, and I didn't like it. And it was staying in the corner for that moment, but like I just did not like being there. So like the energy difference can be an indicator that the spirit has changed to an inhuman spirit too. But again, can they manipulate that?
I don't know.
So,
we'll probably never know for sure.
Right. And it's so, and that's why paranormal is so fascinating, because the fact that there's so many mysteries.
So many unanswered questions that we'll never know the answer to until we pass on. So.
Right. But, and if we pass on, are we going to be ghosts?
That's a good question. Will we go into the ghost world, or are we going into some kind of afterlife?
Mm-hmm. Or
I have no idea.
Like Islam believes that we stay with our bodies at the cemetery until the end of days, where the judgment day comes.
Yeah, do we stay there?
I don't know.
Nobody knows for sure what happens. So
what happens to those people who are agnostic or atheist?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Oh my God, there's so many questions that are being popped up here. What do you guys think? I mean, I would love to hear your thoughts on the different religious beliefs of the afterlife.
There are no right or wrong answers, in my opinion. I think everybody has their own beliefs, their own thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, one of the things that I've always wondered are, like, in World War II, the USS Arizona, that's at the bottom of the Pacific Ocean in Hawaii, all those people that passed away,
Mm-hmm.
are they stuck down there? Are there ghosts stuck down there? Or have they moved on?
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea. I mean, I've heard that people have scuba dived down there. They haven't necessarily seen like ghosts down there, but they've felt like a presence, like a heaviness down there. Now, could that just be because of what happened down there and how they feel just being in that area, in that somber area? Or is it because there are actual spirits still there?
Right.
I have no idea.
Like the Pavaglia Island in Italy. Man, we should have visited there. But they don't allow visitors there because 90% of that area is filled with bones and charred bones. Like people cremated and were just spread across the thing. There were so many deaths. There were a lot of jails there as well.
Huh.
So, are they stuck in the island? I mean, we all believe that spirits can move all over the place. Are they stuck there? Because there's water. Can they walk? Can they walk on water?
Can they just walk through the water?
I don't know.
And what about the religions before Christianity and Islam, and like the Greeks and the Romans?
Oh yeah, and the Aztecs and the Incas.
Yeah.
I mean, like those Native Americans. I mean, like the South American tribes and stuff like that. They had a lot of sacrifices there, and I know for sure they have spirits, heavy spirits there. But did they believe in that?
They still believed in a higher power. It wasn't, the God that we necessarily believe in, but it was still a higher power.
Mm-hmm.
Do they go to our God? Do they go to their God? Do they go somewhere different?
There's so many.
These are so many
onion layers.
Theological questions that we'll never have the answer to in our lifetime, but we're getting into the weeds right now. So
yes, I mean we're going down the rabbit hole here, but let's go back to the demonic.
Let's rein it back in.
Rein it back in. But I mean, like that is actually a really good question because I feel like not many people go into the religion. I mean, like the religion beyond the three big religions.
That is a podcast that we could do one day. But it would literally probably be like a couple-hour podcast because we'd have so many questions and so much discussion.
Mm-hmm.
and we could probably have some guests on for that podcast.
Ooh, that would be kind of interesting.
Because, like, literally, I would want more than just our opinion. I would want some expert opinions.
I agree. That would be a multiple part podcast video. So keep a lookout for it. So in order to do that, make sure you follow us and know that these podcasts are coming out, these videos are coming out, so that you don't miss out.
If we get a big enough following, then we'll try and set something up like that, a multiple part podcast about deeper dives into stuff like that. So
let's talk about, how do we know that there's some sort of demonic entity? And I've mentioned this before because, well, just now, about how the energy shifted to a very strong, intense emotion or energy that I felt between the two layers of that theater. But it is definitely a sudden change. I can't talk anymore. I think you just...
I transferred it to you.
You transferred to me. Violent reaction to religious objects. And again, it's going to stem into the religious beliefs. Like, are they Christian and are they against Christianity? Does it really matter what kind of religion or religious objects? Like, how is that going to go?
So I've always kind of wondered that. Like, we watch, you're a big Supernatural fan. You love Supernatural. Mm-hmm. So in Supernatural, they always use things like holy water, silver, crosses and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So they're very much into the Christianity side of stuff. But does that stuff really work on things like demons and ghosts and things that are evil and not necessarily out for you?
Or Muslim.
Or would Or would things like tapestries from the Muslim side of things, would that stuff work? I don't know. Would prayer beads from any religion work?
I don't know.
Does holy water actually work against a demon?
I know for sure. So the experience that I had in a private residence when I was taken over, that the owner, I believe, had used holy oil and placed it on my forehead. And slowly after that, I came out of it. And I started getting headaches afterwards. I don't know if it was just a headache because I was taken over and I was completely exhausted, or was it the spirit going against that mark? And it was actually hurting in the same spot of where she put it. So I don't know if it was a coincidence or was it because she did it with holy oil, say that 5 times, kind of thing,
That's a good question. I have no idea. I mean, we used to work with an investigator that used to bring holy water with him.
Oh, yeah.
And he would pray before we would do any kind of investigations and sprinkle himself and anybody that was with him with some holy water. Mm-hmm. I mean, he never got overtaken or
possessed or
hurt or anything during the investigation. So does that have anything to do with it?
Are the intentions
or was
there?
it just coincidence?
Because I believe everything in the paranormal is all about intentions. Like saging a house to cleanse it is about the intentions behind the sage. If you're doing the sage just to do the sage without the intentions, I feel like it does not do much as well. So are the intentions the main backbone of all of this kind of thing? And they say that smelling of sulfur, I've never encountered that smell before. Although my classroom has been smelling really bad lately. I joked with the custodian. So like my classroom, since I came back from spring break, has been smelling really bad. And I've gotten all the custodians and facilities guys from the KOSD district to check it out, and they don't know where they can't figure it out. They took apart my vent to make sure there's no mold. They looked at everything to make sure there's no mold, there's no droppings, no dead animals. And And they just still can't figure it out.
And it's spreading to another classroom.
Yeah, and it was spreading to another classroom. And not just the next door classroom, like it literally is a few classrooms down the hall. So it's not even near me. They kind of separate me from the masses because I believe that I'm my own entity and they needed me in my own island.
I mean, they put you in the 6th grade hall. It just happens to be at the end of the building.
I'm literally the last class in the hall, and I feel like they try to isolate me for a reason. I'm joking.
It could be true, but...
I joke though, kind of. But, I mean, I like that... what's it called?
Reasoning.
That reasoning for putting me at the last. And
they put Aalia in the corner.
Put me in the corner. And I'm not moving next year. So there's another example of a reasoning of why I got put there. So
you
there's
get your
that.
steps in, though.
I get my steps in. So that's a good thing. But anyways, it was a really bad smelling. I don't know about sulfur. It didn't smell like rotting eggs. But it smelled so bad that they literally, for over a month, they had to put machines in my room to actually like try to suck up all the nastiness in the air.
The ozone machines and dehumidifiers and stuff.
Oh my God, and those are crazy. When I came into my room, and I hate little sounds, those are not little sounds. So I had to deal with that. But yeah, like... that type of smell, I don't know if it was a demon that came into my room and like messed it up or what. However, there are foul smellings, scents that actually follow the demonic entities kind of thing. So,
and I will say that you have been told by several of your investigative friends that you need to start like protecting yourself before an investigation, which you don't do. So.
Okay, so that part of the reason why is because I want to experience things. If I protect myself, do I really experience anything?
Yes, you do.
I don't know.
Because they do, and they protect themselves.
But
so you're just.
But on my level,
in my opinion, being lazy.
I'm not being lazy. You're
just trying to bring stuff back home with you. Is all you're trying to do.
I want to like liven up our lives.
I think our lives are just fine the way that they are. We don't need any more liveliness in our lives.
But yeah, so it is a very important thing to ground yourself before and protect yourself before any kind of investigation. Whether it is a prayer, it is a spray or sage to cleanse your body before you enter these locations, because you don't know what you're going to encounter, kind of thing. And guess what?
Chicken butt.
Fear is actually pretty powerful. So if you're very fearful before going in, that is.
Should we take a nap before we finishing this?
Oh my God, what the hell is my problem? Okay, fear is the most powerful generator for any kind of activity. So before you go into a location, I may be fearful within the investigation, but going into an investigation, I'm usually not fearful. I'm anxious. I think it's more about an excitement, anxiety, rather than anxious. But
she puts on a brave face.
Yeah. But I'm not really fearful completely. But when I am in the middle of an investigation, when things are happening more often than not, that my fear starts to increase.
So how does fear make you more vulnerable to the spirits?
I feel like because your brain is starting to see things that may not even be there.
Okay.
Kind of play on that part. Also, if you are fearful, you are generating energy that they can actually absorb and start using to do things towards you, with you, or against you kind of thing. So they can actually utilize that energy. Because we believe if you are more fearful and you are generating the energy, and that's why I tell my homeowners that, it is the fear, the energy that they put out that causes them to use and throw things. So it is actually pretty interesting. I mean, like, if you have teenagers or preteens, they're going through such huge hormonal shifts. They are actually the number one area or key for poltergeist activity, kind of thing, because the spirits are able to utilize that energy and throw things and all that sort of stuff. And I believe that is the reason why it was so active, especially when our daughter was younger, because she does have my ability, and also she was generating so much energy going through hormonal changes that the spirits were able to use and act. So
I'm surprised it's died down then.
Well, I mean, she is going through hormonal changes, but I feel like at this age it's not as high kind of thing. That's why we still have activity, but it's not as much as it used to be.
It's true. It has slowed down a little bit.
So, and usually it's an unintentional thing that escalates the activity kind of thing. So let's talk about the TV paranormal TVs and the use of the word demon or demonic activity. Do you think they caused a hysteria amongst the viewers that now everything is demon?
So I don't know if it caused a hysteria amongst viewers. Mm-hmm. I just think that they overuse it. Mm-hmm. I think that everything on certain shows, especially some of the more popular ghost hunting shows that are on right now, are like, oh my God, I was possessed by a demon. Like every other episode that airs, the main character is always possessed by a demon, it seems. And I just think it's a little overkill. Mm-hmm. I think that the bigger movies that come out, like the Conjuring movies, their main antagonist or always seems to be a demon, and it's not just like a regular haunting or a regular ghost that's there.
Right.
They don't show like the everyday person and what they experience. They show the extreme. Now, can the extreme happen to everyday people? Of course it can. But is that the norm? It's not the norm. Most people are experiencing just a regular neighborhood ghost is what I would explain it as. A ghost that lives with you in harmony and in peace and just...
I don't know about peace, but...
Well, general peace. They just play little tricks on you every now and then and kind of mess around with you. But in generality, they don't really cause you much harm or much pain. They just kind of are a general nuisance. But you can live with them just fine. Just set those boundaries and set those barriers and you're okay. But I know how much you hate these shows and how much that they bother you. What do you think about them and their overuse of demons and overacting and stuff?
So I used to really, really love watching these.
She did. She would watch them 24/7.
Just because, like, especially in the beginning when they are truly actually trying to find answers and they're not really, I mean, they dramatize certain areas. And yes, I know they're all editing so that the activity seems like to go back to back and is really exciting and stuff, which truly investigations are really kind of boring and very slow. My buddy who just went to Billy's Creek told me that there's very little activity and there were multiple buildings and he was a little disappointed. I mean, granted, a location gets hyped up and then nothing kind of thing. Again, but this is his first time there, and we've said it in the beginning that spirits needs to take time to get to know you kind of thing. Whatever, regardless, but I used to love these shows, but then when they got big, producers are like, hey, you need to step it up so we can get the viewership and stuff. So I kind of started to lose interest when they over dramatized that bell being rung. Okay, well, this dead bell by what is it, U.S. Ghost Adventures went off. However, this goes off with EM fields as well. We debunked it the other day at a location. It's like, oh, well, your phone kind of makes it go off, kind of thing. It's turned off so it doesn't, it's not active, but like, oh, make sure there's no power source that's interrupting. So, but they get so excited because there's a bell ringing, and it's like, okay, did you look around the area? Do we have power sources? Do we have a walkie-talkies are a big thing that kind of throws everything off. The REM pad goes off when I hit my walkie-talkie. So and they don't show that. They don't debunk it like they used to. And it kind of makes me saddened just because of the whole being paranormal, and the whole purpose of being an investigator is to debunk the paranormal to see if there's a normal answer to it. So
I think it kind of lessens their whole investigation, in my opinion. It makes it more unreliable, kind of. I mean, yeah, at the end of the episode, they go back through their evidence, and they do typically show you what they find.
Not all the time.
Not all the time, but most of the true shows, like Ghost Hunters.
They used to, not anymore.
Yeah, I mean, when they were actually good and they used to do that.
At the beginning. So at the end of the day, like, I don't think every dark experience is like a demonic experience. It can be a human with a complicated life, and they're trying to figure that out. I mean, life means that, where are they? Like, are they truly don't know where they are? Do they truly know if they're dead? Or are we actually talking to the human, and we're talking to the inhuman spirits that were just being manipulated? Share your thoughts. That would be super awesome. So now we definitely want to hear from you. And do you think demons truly exist, or are they just humans just getting bored and they just want to play?
Or are they just hyped up by TV? Do you think that they're actually a thing, or are they just kind of made up and hyped up by TV producers and TV shows to make TV more exciting and more fun? What do you think? Let us know down here in the comments. We read every single one of them.
Exactly. And make sure you hit that follow button and that bell to make sure to know our next video that will come out. So this is another episode of the Paranormal Chronicles, talking about demons and humans. Have a good day, guys.
See you in the next one.